Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for installment of Scott Selections here for Saturday, December 10th. For again today's play of the day, quick recap what happened yesterday. We had a nice winner in the NBA with the Nets first half minus 3.5 at minus 125 on points bet. Wasn't easy. It should have been. Nets were up double digits at several points in the second quarter, and yet they choked it away both times. However, the Nets did end up going on a bit of a run there in the final 2 minutes, and they ended up winning the first half by 4. So it wasn't easy. Definitely a sweat, but still a profit nonetheless. Look for the winner here on Saturday. But for today's play today, go and actually look ahead to NFL Sunday. Look at a matchup in the late afternoon between the Buccaneers and the Niners, taking place on Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this matchup, going to look at the total in this one. Total of 37.5. It might sound extremely low, but I actually think it's not low enough. I'm going to take the under at minus 111 on Bet Online. Time recording of 3:30 a.m. on Saturday Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like the under in this spot. First reason, look at the numbers defensively for both teams. Both defenses are definitely elite. The Niners are allowing just 15.8 points per game, which ranks first in the league. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers are not far behind as the Bucs are allowing just 18.3 points per game, which ranks fifth. So you have two top five defenses going at it, and you're looking at the actual defenses recently. They've been really just in form. The Niners have allowed less than 18 points in each of their last 5 games. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers have allowed less than 18 points in regulation in each of their last 4 games. And I say in regulation because the Browns ended up going to overtime and they scored 23 with that Nick Chubb rushing touchdown. However, a reminder in that game, Njoku had the game-tying touchdown with like 20 seconds left, and Tampa only allowed 10 points up to that moment. So Tampa's defense has actually been better than its stats potentially indicate. And I think as a result, you should see both defenses really dictate the overall tone of this game, which should result in a low-scoring rock fight. But you're looking at the offense for Tampa, and it's been awful lately and all season long. The Buccaneers are averaging just 18.1 points per game, which ranks 27th in the league. And also, you could argue that Tampa's offense is still overrated because they still have Brady, they still have Evans, they still have Godwin. So people think at some point they're going to wake up. I don't know what to tell you. We're more than 2/3 of the way through the season, and the Buccaneers have one of the worst offenses in the league. Now they face off against the best defense in the league on a short week. I'm not exactly sold on Tampa's ability to even score 2 touchdowns in this game. But Tampa is coming off of that very thrilling come-from-behind victory against the Saints on Monday Night Football, in which they scored 14 points in about the final 5 minutes. The problem is they only scored 3 points in the first 54-plus minutes at home against the Saints defense. So I don't exactly think the Niners are going to be able or going to be susceptible to giving up big plays. I think the Buccaneers are going to do what they always do, which is compensate for a really bad offensive line by checking the ball down a ton. A lot of short passes from Brady, a lot of really long drives, and eventually most of them will probably stall out. I do think the Niners, with the pass rush and the overall elite defense, should really make life difficult for Brady throughout this entire game. And I think that if Tampa's able to score at any point in this game, it'll take a bunch of time off the clock because the Niners probably won't give up any huge plays. Meanwhile, the Niners offense has been pretty good this season. However, there's been one serious change, which has been the quarterback position, because of the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo broke his foot last week and Brock Purdy came in as the backup to play the rest of the game against Miami. Now, he was good, I'll admit. I thought he played pretty well. However, Miami's defense is significantly worse than Tampa's, and I do think that the Niners will really be conservative with the play calling. I think you'll see a lot of really short passes, a lot of handoffs, and I think you'll end up seeing a lot of running clock. And that has been the case for the Niners all season long because the Niners do rank fourth in the league in time of possession. So I do think you'll see a lot of long drives from San Francisco, eating up a bunch of clock. Maybe some of them stall out in the red zone. But I do think with the Niners and the Buccaneers most likely using extremely conservative play calling, I think you're going to end up seeing a really low-scoring game in which both defenses will really do whatever they can to limit the opposition from scoring or from generating big plays. If you want to go through some trends here, the under is 5-0 in Tampa's last 5 road games, and the under is 6-2 in San Francisco's last 8 home games. But it's similar to my breakdown for the Buccaneers-Saints game on Monday night, which is there are a couple ways to actually win this bet. You either have Tampa's offense do nothing, which we can see. Tampa scores potentially 10 points, and the Niners score 24. They win comfortably, but the game goes under. You have the opposite, which is Purdy struggling. Brady finds some type of magic to some degree, and maybe Tampa wins the game 20-13, something like that. Or you have what happened in the Monday night game, which is both offenses being terrible, and you have yourself a rock fight, which I could see. Like if I told you the Niners won this game 16-13, Would you really be surprised? Probably not, because we know that both defenses are good. We know both quarterbacks have had issues this season. And with Tampa's offensive line against the 49ers' elite defensive line, I think Tampa's going to have a really, really hard time of generating long drives for touchdowns. But at the end of the day, 37.5 might seem like a low number at first glance. I really don't think it is. Some books have already moved it to 37. So I don't think 37.5 is going to be there for that much longer. And as a result, I'm going to take it now. So play the day once again here for Saturday, December 10th. Is going to be on the Buccaneers and Niners under 37.5 at minus 111 on Bet Online. Bye, everyone.